Hey everybody, welcome to Phantom Refined. My name is Brad. I wanted to start by introducing Phantom Refined, explaining a little bit about what it is and the overall structure. So Phantom Refined is an updated and refreshed and refined version of the current Phantom course. Phantom was launched back in August 2020, and since then, the community has exploded. The way we do things has drastically improved and changed. We've refined a lot of our concepts and really dug into the strategy. And over that period of time, there have been multiple videos and multiple additions to the course, some being more in commentaries rather than actual course content, which has left the current course a little bit fragmented when it comes to the way the course was created and really just presented. Some of the charts are black, some are gray, some are white. We went back to black, we went to white. It was not overly consistent. We want consistent trading, and I think the first thing is having a consistently delivered approach and consistently delivered content. So as a result, we've decided to just update the content, really refine it, make it clear, make it concise, make it actionable so that you have the best chance that you can to be educated in these concepts, take them to the charts, and then start trading them and finding consistency with your trading, and then getting funded, whether it be by investor capital, prop funds, or just scaling up your own personal accounts. So how is Phantom Refined going to be structured? We're going to be slowly releasing the course over time, unlike many conventional courses where the entire course is dropped on a specific date. Although that was the initial idea, we've changed our thought process on that, and I'll get to that in a second. But I wanted to explain how the course is going to be structured so that you understand and go in with the right mindset. We are wanting to adopt more of a growth mindset within the Phantom environment and specifically the course. We want to make sure that people are putting in the appropriate amount of work and also have the appropriate expectations as they progress throughout their journey. What we found with the prior course and the way people were utilizing it was that they would binge watch the entire course from start to finish. They wouldn't really necessarily think about all of the components that lead up to your end result. They would watch the course, they would hit the charts, and they would more or less stare at a chart going, I don't actually understand how to do anything. And they'd have, a period of time where they struggled. Maybe they asked some questions, maybe they didn't. And ultimately it just slowed down the time it took to actually find some comfort in the strategy. And then before they could actually start testing it, applying it, and really seeing some results on paper. So with that said, what we wanted to do is slowly drip it out so that every time an episode or a content piece is released, there is some time to watch it, to internalize it, to test it, and then we'll move on to the next component. And part of the release structure is there's going to be 3 videos per content segment, we'll call it. There'll be a theory component, a application component, and an assessment component. So the theory component is going to be really just explaining the concepts in theory, and whether it's just really conceptualizing it. Won't be any real examples or anything like that. It would be just straight theory. Then we'll move on to the application component, which is actually going through examples on the charts, seeing how these pieces get put together from that theoretical topic that we spoke about in the first part. The third part is the assessment piece, which is more of a prompt for you to go to the charts and study that particular component of the strategy. And what you'll notice is as the course continues to move forward, each piece is going to be built on, again, fostering that growth mindset and making sure that you understand the first component, then you move on to the second one and understand how they tie together. And we just keep moving forward and forward instead of just launching a bunch of things at you and hoping that you'll understand it over time. We want to make sure that you understand the content and you understand how to apply it. And the best way to do that is to take it in small steps and do mini assessments and really prompt you to put in some of the work ahead of time instead of doing all of it once you finish the course. So that's the way it's going to be structured. That's the way it's going to be released. And I'm sure some of you are wondering, why did you choose to really do this approach? And I'm going to touch on that right now. The main reason really is personally due to myself. My son was born about 9 weeks ago, and I've been pretty busy. I've had my hands full with a newborn and a toddler. Obviously, I have my wonderful wife who has, of course, been helping with everything. But, being a dad, you jump in and you get used to the new routine and the new things that are associated with that. And as a result, for the last 9 weeks, I haven't really been sleeping a whole lot. And anyone with kids would definitely understand that, especially new babies. He was and still isn't really sleeping throughout the night, getting up anywhere from 2 to 3 times per night to eat. So when you're running on, only a few hours of sleep, it's really hard to be productive, and it's even harder to record content in the level of enthusiasm and detail depth that is required and, more importantly, expected when you're watching a content piece. So instead of having me half awake trying to convey an educational content, I had to take a step back and focus my initiatives on certain things. Obviously, I have the support within the Phantom community, I have my own trading, and I have now this content piece. I had to kind of shuffle a few things around, and as a result, the content kind of got put a little bit on the back burner while I sorted some things out to make the appropriate accommodations to do that. So that's one main thing, was just making sure that the content was fully fleshed out. It was actually put into the high quality that we expect, because what I don't want to do is release a course and then have to redo it in, say, 3-4 months because it just wasn't up to the proper standards. So that's a big thing. And then the second piece I just wanted to touch on more specifically is back in April when we moved on to our new platform. It was kind of the end of March, early April. We had a very large content leak on our website. Everything from our videos to the Discord content was leaked in several Telegram groups. We actually had individuals messaging us saying that they were, targeting us and that we had gone to war with them, stuff like that. And so we had to address that, and we kind of took a step back and a thought on how do we move forward to ensure that the content is secure and that we keep moving forward. So as a result, some of the newer content that we are working on and will be included in this course was in many ways put on hold as well. And as a result, when I was building out the Phantom Refined course, that new stuff was not included, and it was going to be released at a later date once we moved to, say, a custom solution to house our content or whatever it was that we came up with. And with that, we started thinking, we built Phantom in order to be the most accessible and value-driven community that is out there. If you have questions and need support, we're going to be there to assist you along the way, but while remaining accessible. And if we're holding on to content and hoping to release it at a later date, it doesn't necessarily make sense, and it goes against what we do here. I've been a part of several trading communities, and one of the biggest things that I found in those communities was that you'd pay your monthly fee or your lifetime membership, however the community was structured. You would watch the course. You'd be very enthusiastic about the course because, it unlocked levels of technical analysis or things that you were missing or you felt you were missing in your trading. You start applying to the charts, things are looking good, and then you hit a roadblock and you don't really know how to move forward, and you start asking your mentor or the community for assistance, and generally speaking, you got two different types of answers. You got either you haven't back tested enough, go back to your back testing and tell me what it suggests, or the other end, which would say that's suggestive and it's really up to your trading plan. Both of which, those answers are really, they're useless, and it leaves you with that sour taste in your mouth. And that was something that me personally wanted to eliminate within the trading space, and this is why Phantom exists today. I wanted to provide that level of guidance and mentorship that I was unable to receive in my early trading days. And more importantly, trading does not have to cost an arm and a leg, so making it accessible was a big thing for me. So when we go towards new content and then holding it off to figure out how we secure it, just went against what we do here, and that didn't sit right with me, didn't sit right with the team. We had a lot of discussions about it, so we decided, you know what, we're not really going to be too concerned about course leaks or content leaks, anything like that, because at the end of the day, the reason why you're a part of this community isn't just because of the content that we provide, but it's more importantly the support, the guidance, and the community aspect that is created here. You can't leak support, you can't leak community. It's impossible. It is built from the ground up within the Phantom Discord and the overall atmosphere that we have created since April. And I couldn't be more proud of that. And as a result, we had to kind of rethink that whole leaking process and go, you know what, it doesn't bother us, because at the end of the day, we want to be an accessible trading community. And some people simply can't afford trading education. There are so many different factors in people's lives that don't allow them to, purchase trading education, and they shouldn't be left behind to a certain extent. So if the content does get leaked, it's fine. My only hope with that is that those people that get it via leaks are actually actioning it, because what I find with people who get leaked content, they take it for granted and they don't actually do anything with it. So, but at the end of the day, if you get leaked content and you actually do something with it, great, because that's why we created Phantom. We wanted to make sure that people were learning how to trade in a proper way for strategies that actually work. It's not smoke and mirrors. So that's basically what it is. And like I said, the previous structure of Phantom Refined was already built, but it didn't include some of the new nuances that we're adding. And I've had to obviously go back to the drawing board and just retune everything to involve all of the new components. Nothing is left behind. But because of that, and combining the decreased productivity on my end from a lack of sleep and things like that, it's kind of pushed my deadline a little bit. I wanted June to be the full release, and that's something I held myself to. And unfortunately, I was not able to get to that in a full release. But I think that this new approach, although it will take a little bit more time to slowly drip out all the content, I think it fosters that growth mindset that I think we all really need to focus on. And that's my aim with that. And one last thing before we move on to the actual content is an expectational piece that you should have going into this. If you think that you're going to jump into this course and you're going to binge watch it if it is fully out by this point, and you're going to be smashing 10 to 30 hour trades consistently every single day, every single week, or every single month, it's probably not best you continue with Phantom, because I want to be very clear that we do not sell a holy grail. We do not sell this magical system. You are going to struggle. You're going to struggle a lot initially. Why? Because some of these concepts are a little bit confusing on the onset, especially depending on where you've come from in your trading journey. But when it comes to that, if you truly put in the work that is involved into learning this particular style, you put in the work back testing, you show up every single day, you're on the charts, whether you're taking trades or you're just forward testing, things like that. If you show up every day and you actually put in that work and you try, you will get to where you need to be. But I can't stress that enough. It is going to take a lot of hours behind the charts. It's going to take a lot of persistence. It's going to take a lot of dedication. It's not going to come easy. And I want to paint that picture now so that you have that in your mind, that I need to actually work for this. Because if you think that you're just going to get this magic course and then you're going to be a consistently profitable trader into infinity, you're living in a dream world, and I don't sell dreams. We don't sell dreams here. We convey a strategy. We convey how to trade, how to be consistently profitable. But even then, you can learn technicals, and then you're going to stumble with technicals for a while. You'll start to get confident with the technicals, but the next step that you're going to hit, psychology. And regardless if it's psychology or it's technicals, here at Phantom, we will support you, we will guide you, we will make sure that you continue to move from strength to strength. But it's going to involve work on your end. It's not going to be this easy process. You need to put in order to get out. And also, if you don't ask the question, you can't get an answer. So don't be afraid to ask questions throughout this entire process, because we want to take you from zero to funded. But the only way you can go from zero to funded is to put in the work, be dedicated, and really strive for that level of greatness. Don't take any shortcuts. Don't think it's going to come immediately or it's going to come easy. It may come relatively quick depending on where you are in your trading journey, but if you expect to be hitting 5, 10, 15-hour trades immediately, you're going to be disappointed, you're going to be frustrated, and it's just not going to serve you over the long term. Trading is a long-term game. I've been trading for over 7 years now. I've been consistently profitable for 3 years. Did I want to quit throughout that entire process? Yes. Even when I was consistent, I had my moments of wanting to quit. Why? Because consistency isn't a final destination. It's not an end goal. It's a daily battle. It's something that you work towards every single day. And once you get that into your head, coupled with actually putting in the work and having those proper expectations, then you have a chance at being successful and actually seeing a future with trading. But with all that said, again, welcome to Phantom Refined. Let's get into it.